The woods whispered softly. They sang a haunting song of shadows and secrets. The moon, a sliver in the night sky, offered little comfort to the lost. Its pale light did little to pierce the darkness that clung to the ancient trees. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. Something was wrong here. Something ancient and watchful lurked within the forest's eerie embrace. A figure moved through the trees, Ilara. She was a shadow among shadows, her presence barely a whisper in the ancient forest. The trees seemed to part for her, recognizing an old friend or perhaps a kindred spirit. Her cloak, the color of midnight, did little to conceal her from the watchful eyes of the forest. The fabric flowed around her like liquid night, blending with the darkness but never quite disappearing. She moved with a grace that defied the tangled undergrowth, her steps silent. Each movement was deliberate, each step a testament to her years of training and experience. The forest floor, littered with leaves and twigs, made no sound under her careful tread. Her face, framed by raven hair, was pale but determined. Her eyes, sharp and alert, scanned the surroundings constantly, missing nothing. The forest was both her ally and her adversary, a place of refuge and danger. She gripped a silver locket in her hand, its cool surface a comfort against the growing fear that threatened to consume her. The locket was more than a piece of jewelry, it was a symbol of hope, a reminder of what she had lost and what she was determined to find. She was searching for something lost. The forest held many secrets, and Ilara was determined to uncover them. Her journey was far from over, and the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but she pressed on, driven by a purpose that burned within her. Thorns tore at her cloak, but Ilara pressed on. The forest seemed alive, each branch and thorn conspiring to hold her back. She could feel the weight of the ancient woods pressing down on her, as if the trees themselves were whispering secrets of old. The whispers grew louder, swirling around her like living things. They seemed to come from every direction, a cacophony of voices that spoke of forgotten times and hidden dangers. The mist thickened, wrapping around her like a shroud, making it hard to see the path ahead. They spoke of forgotten magic, of lost souls, of a darkness that consumed all who dared to defy it. Ancient symbols glowed faintly on the trees, remnants of a time when magic ruled the land. Ghostly apparitions flitted between the shadows, their eyes filled with sorrow and warning. A low growl echoed through the trees. It was a sound that sent shivers down her spine, primal and menacing. The forest seemed to hold its breath, the usual sounds of wildlife falling silent as if in anticipation of something terrible. Ilara froze, her hand instinctively moving to the dagger sheathed at her hip. Her heart pounded in her chest, each beat echoing in her ears. She scanned the darkness, trying to pinpoint the source of the growl, every muscle in her body tensed and ready for action. 2 points of emerald fire ignited in the darkness, watching her, studying her. They were not just eyes, they were filled with an intelligence that seemed to pierce through her very soul. Ilara knew she was not alone, and whatever was out there, it was waiting for her next move. Ilara stood her ground, her heart pounding against her ribs. She met the creature's gaze, refusing to yield to the fear that threatened to cripple her. The forest around her seemed to hold its breath, the air thick with anticipation. Every shadow seemed to move, every rustle of leaves a whisper of ancient secrets. She could feel the weight of countless eyes upon her, hidden in the darkness, watching, waiting. The growl subsided, replaced by a low, guttural voice that seemed to emanate from the trees themselves. "What brings you here, child?" The voice rumbled, its tone echoing through the forest like a distant thunder. Ilara's mind raced, searching for the right words. She knew this was a moment of great importance, a turning point in her journey. It spoke of ancient power, of a time when magic ruled the world. Ilara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history pressing down on her. She could almost see the echoes of the past, the glimmer of forgotten spells and the shadows of long-lost guardians. The air was thick with the scent of moss and earth, a reminder of the timelessness of this place. "I'm looking for the Guardian," she replied, her voice trembling slightly. "The Guardian of the Lost." Her words hung in the air, a fragile thread of hope in the vast darkness. She could feel the presence of the creature, its gaze piercing through her, weighing her soul. The emerald eyes narrowed. "The Guardian is gone," the voice whispered, its tone laced with a strange sadness. The words struck Ilara like a blow, a cold realization that her quest might be in vain. But there was something else in the voice, a hint of something unspoken, a glimmer of possibility. "You are the Guardian now." The words resonated within her, a spark of destiny igniting in her heart. She felt a surge of strength, a newfound purpose. The forest seemed to come alive around her, the shadows retreating, as if acknowledging her new role. Ilara stood taller, her eyes shining with determination. She was ready to embrace her destiny.